Evening called order Town of St. John Plan Commission study session for December 4th, 2024. Would invite all that are able to stand for the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We get the roll call, please.
Joe Gomez-Stagel.
Present.
Pete Quadaris is absent. John Gill.
Here.
Russ Vogel is currently absent. Justin Nestor.
Present.
Colin Entway is currently absent. Ashley Abernathy present. Adam Decker.
Here.
Joe Dykstra. John Dykstra.
Here.
Bill Manifesto.
Here.
So we have 4. We have a quorum, yes?
Yep.
All right.
Not yet.
Item 4, old and new business. Item A, 2024-20 Schuster's Village, proposed final plat and site plan for a 2-lot subdivision and daycare facility located at 10603 and 10641 Island Street, zoned C1. Mr. Huss, good evening.
Good evening. Nothing particularly new to report tonight. We have submitted a final plat and then a final plat addressing a few remaining comments back to the town. We do have a meeting with town staff scheduled for the 9th, next Monday, at which I believe we'll be receiving some fire comments in addition to anything new the town has to bring up, but assuming there are no substantial changes that result from that meeting, we intend to be back here on the 18th requesting final plat and site development approval.
Okay. Questions, comments?
He is correct. We have a staff meeting scheduled with the Deputy Chief of Fire and our fire inspector, as well as some other staff members, to go over this site plan on Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Item B, 2024-27 Family Express, US 41 St. John, proposed final plat for 1-lot subdivision and site plan for a new proposed Family Express located in the southwest corner, US 41 and 109th Avenue. Mr. Huss, welcome back.
Thank you. We are still working through engineering comments. We have submitted a final plat, but this project as well is going to be discussed on the 9th, at which time we expect to receive some additional input from the town. So we are going to try our best to return engineering comments and the plat after that meeting, but this one's not as fleshed out yet, so I guess we're still actively working on those comments, but really waiting to see what comes out of that staff meeting.
So maybe the 18th, maybe January.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Questions, comments? There being none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item C, 2024-29 NWI Development 1 LLC, proposed site plan for a new access road at Bank 1 subdivision.
Just so the commission can kind of get an idea of where this is going to be behind the Chase building there off of 41 in front of the orthopedic building.
Thank you.
Don Torango with Torango Engineering, representing DeVal Realty. Ashley's exactly right. What this is the old Kmart building is finally being purchased by Jewel Foods. Jewel Foods is going to come in probably January or February with plans to upgrade the parking lot, remodel some things, put in a drive-through. But in order for that to go through, they insisted that there be an access from 96th Place immediately to the west of the Bank 1 building to access the parking lot. So that's what this is all about.
Okay. Questions, comments? Nope.
An engineering review has been done for this by Adam McAlpine, and he finds that there are no concerns with this one. This should be good to appear on our August 18th, December 18th agenda.
Very good. We'll see you back.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Item D, 2024-30 Gates of St. John, proposed final plat for the Gates of St. John, Unit 27 for 59 lots and 3 outlots.
Good evening. We were going to be in here last month, but we were requested to wait another month so we could wrap everything up. So everything should be paved, everything should be ready to go for the 59 lot subdivision, just final plat. And we should be ready for the 18th for that. So I don't see any reason why not. The final plat, I've turned it in already. We just want to make sure that we have as much done as we can and get the paving done. We'll have a window coming up here on Monday where it's supposed to be in the 50s, so we'll get out of this deep freeze, hopefully, for a few days anyway, before we go back in it. Then we can get all the paving done, we'll have all that, and then they can establish a letter of credit for us for street lights, street signs, some final grading, as-built, things of that nature. So we should be ready to go on the 18th.
Okay. Questions, comments? Sounds good. We'll see you back. Item E, 2024-31 MS4 ordinance. Presentation to updates to the St. John Stormwater and MS4 ordinance.
I will start this off and then I will turn it over to John Dykstra. So as part of our MS4 ordinance requirements, our MS4 permits, we have to do updates to our stormwater drainage and MS4 regulations that are found within our subdivision control ordinance. And I will let John go through what all is being updated with this.
As Ashley said, this is being driven by IDEM, Indiana Department of Environmental Management, who oversees, among other things, such as wetlands. But the MS4, the separate sewer, keeping pollution out of waterways. So this has been ongoing. It comes down from the EPA, down to the states, down to the towns, and one of those unfunded mandate type things. And so as part of that, we knew that the ordinance needed to be updated. A lot of the references in the code, as it is now referenced, and some of the engineers here would know about Rule 5, Rule 13. So those have been repealed by the state legislature, and they've renamed these permits. And so it's to tidy all these things up and add in new things that they've added with their latest permit. A lot of those pertain to post-construction BMPs, so this is after, say, a unit is constructed and the homes are there. How is it in perpetuity going forward that there's controls, that there's no erosion, no things leaving the site, which normally they're established, but especially around detention ponds, you can have issues where things wash down and go through. So a lot of the changes pertain to that, and some of it affected some of the stormwater requirements, and I think it's called Division 1 in the code. So these changes were mainly in Division 1 and 2 of the code. So it's getting it up to date and making sure we're in compliance. So we'd like to report that to IDEM, that this is up to date now, because they did contact the town and we've been in communication with them, but we'd rather not be on their naughty list in any sense. So that's a lot of what these changes are. So,
Okay.
And they'll of course go through legal and everything to make sure it's makes sense.
All right. Questions, comments?
If any of the commissioners would like, it is a 59-page document. Reach out to me if you want a hard copy printed out for you to be able to look through, go through, and I will make sure that that is printed and ready for you.
Okay.
We did add some tables that we thought should be in there too, that the code referenced, like, for example, the rainfall that should be used for a design, that's in the code, but there was never a table to help engineers. Lake County and most of the towns have that table inserted, and so we've added some tables to make it a little easier. So there's no doubt, here's the rainfall, and yeah.
All right. We'll wait to hear back more. Item F, presentation of conceptual plan for the proposed Suncrest Church property located off of US 231 and Park Place.
Good go.
Yeah.
Good evening, James Huss here with DVG team, here representing Suncrest Christian Church. We're here tonight to show you what we feel will be another cornerstone of the Gates of St. John area of the town. Some of the members that are also on BZA, this will be a little bit redundant, but to bring everybody completely up to speed, I'd like to present a brief synopsis of the project. Suncrest Christian Church owns approximately 15 acres in the southeast corner of the Gates area, which is illustrated here in the exhibit you see on your screen. In early 2024, the church came before the town expressing their desire to subdivide their greater property into 2 lots, one for a taxable commercial lot and one for their future ministry center. At that juncture, they applied for and received a rezoning of the western property, Lot 1, which is the property we're here to talk about tonight. That was zoned C2 as a result of their efforts early 2024. Last month, the church came before the BZA and presented a request for some minor variances, all which received favorable recommendations. Where this leaves us now is our first more formal unveiling of the plan for Lot 1. Ashley, if you could scroll to the next page, please. The greater subdivision is to be titled The Shops at the Gates. In fact, we submitted our primary plat of subdivision to the town just today. So again, we're here to display more formally our vision for the site and the commercial building we intend to construct. Our site plan for Lot 1 focuses on the construction of a single 19,000 square foot, single-story structure orientated easterly towards where the future ministry center will be. Compliant parking areas on Lot 1 are provided east of the building with a minor parking area to the west or rear of the building, which we expect will primarily be used by employees of the tenant businesses. We are proposing a single right-in, right-out driveway on the US 231, which we will be submitting for an NDOT permit more or less immediately after this study session. Our primary access point will be off Park Place to the west, where you can see there is a kind of a finger off the property extending to that right-of-way there. That is directly in alignment with the opposite entrance, southern entrance of the Park Place senior community. All required setbacks will be adhered to, and we intend for a monument sign to be placed east of the entrance off 231. While not submitted here, but certainly will be shortly, accompanying our engineering package, will be a landscaping plan that provides some screening that the BZA requested when we were discussing with them a couple weeks back. As for the more important thing, Ashley, if you could turn to the next few pages, I'd like to discuss the proposed structure. We intend it to be a 9-unit building, each with a tasteful variety of exterior finishes to break up the front facade. We'll be incorporating generous exterior patios on the north, south, and center units, which we hope provide potential restaurant tenants for the opportunity for outdoor dining. The site plan also has spacing which will allow the potential for drive-through operations on the north and south units. As for finishes, we have a wide variety above and beyond the required 3 finish materials, including glass expanses, brick masonry, cast stone, precast panels, and segments of ephes. The roof line will have variety added, utilizing a varying height parapet walls on the north, south, and east faces of the building to break up the general, vista of the front facade. As for exterior amenities, we intend the 3 patios to more than likely be bordered in powder-coated metal railing systems or other tenant-specific preferred materials. The frontage of the building incorporates a very generous, greater than 10-foot sidewalk area, and while just viewing the site plan itself, it does look like it's a concrete expanse, but we do fully intend to break that up with a variety of landscape planning boxes, which you can kind of get a feel for from the renderings we provided in your packets. With that said, I will stop jabbering and get to the meat and potatoes and field any questions. We have, of course, myself and members of the PBS Design Build team, in case needed, to discuss any questions you have.
Questions? I assume that all the proposed tenants you're looking at C2 type of businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just dealt with this one a couple months ago, I think, so. Questions, comments? No? What's your time frame look like at this point?
So.
You mentioned NDOT.
If I can, I can't promise I'll get every meeting date right, but we obviously would hope to use the Plan Commission's December 18th meeting as a request to advertise for the primary plat we submitted today, which would mean a primary plat hearing in January with the potential for site and final in February with a groundbreaking in 2025.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item G, conversion to maintenance bond for the Gates of St. John units 21B, 22, 24B, and 25.
Yes, a while ago, Mr. Dykstra did some letters for me and gave me a punch list of just some various things that he thought needed to be plumbed up in Unit 21B, 22, 24B, 25, a lot of the units over in the Gates East. We have subsequently have accomplished all that, had everything re-inspected. The way that we do things is that instead of a letter of credit from a bank, we just write cash checks to the town, and the town holds the cash. So kind of better than a letter of credit. You have the cash. So we asked for a re-inspection, and we asked for a reduction of those amounts. And you have a letter, and Ashley received a letter, I should say, that addresses each unit, 21B, 22, 24B, 25. Unit 22 was final platted 2 years ago, so these have been out there a while. And he's got what he believes it can be reduced to. So basically, we have about $65,000 outstanding in letter of credit amounts. So it's not a whole lot. We want to reduce that down to roughly 60,000, 59 some change. So that's what one of the requests would be. The actual letter of credit then we would have to issue for Unit 27, which is coming up in front of you. That's a separate issue. That's a brand new one. So this is just an attempt to get these cleaned up. For example, 24B, we've ordered the as-built on them, and that's the only thing that's outstanding. All the street lights are in, street signs, everything's done. So in these phases, as-built have been ordered where they don't exist. All the other as-built have been supplied to everybody, so the town's current on everything. But I'm just going to request a reduction down to that amount, which is roughly $15,000 for the units that remain.
Is that okay? Are we good from the town's perspective?
Yeah, it's in our subdivision control ordinance that once they've either completed so much or they want to reduce or convert to maintenance, that inspections are created and the engineer, in this case it was Adam, creates a letter proposing the amounts that the maintenance bond is to be done. Once we make a recommendation to the town council on the 18th, Steve will then get the updated amounts to the town, and the larger amounts that you see on the left-hand side would then be released. So just be changing the larger fund to the smaller fund. But it's something we do allow in our ordinances.
Okay. Questions, comments? We'll see you back.
That's it.
That's it. That's all the old and new business. Item 5, adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gill, second by Mr. Goldman. All in favor?